इनको पूजा करना चाहिए. No, it's not like that. So Krishna worship is there since long time. No, so it's been there eternally. It is there. So even in the Satya Yuga, so Krishna appeared in Dwapar Yuga. So even in Satya Yuga, like when Prahlad Maharaj is offering prayers, no, he is glorifying Krishna. So there is no Krishna's like no Krishna was always existent. No Krishna's worship was always existent, and like Vrishnis, they were ardent devotees of Krishna, and now Krishna has appeared and he's going to perform pastimes. No, so like when he came, immediately they understood this is our worshipable Lord, right? So this is sometimes people ask like how do we know that who is god. So many people tell that this is god, that is god, and things like that, and claim themselves to be god and things like that and all. So how do we know? So like when I was reading Ramayana, so that time like Shabari, like she was also instructed by her spiritual masters that no, like they were going back to godhead. So but then they told like you wait, no, Lord Ramachandra will come and you serve and then you come. So like there is nothing that ki like is time pe aayenge and things like that. Kuch invitation nahi hai, kuch prior information nahi hai. So but then like when Lord comes, parallel class bhi chal raha hai. So, anyways, so like when Lord Ramachandra actually comes, no, she was anticipating, she was rendering a devotional service, but automatically she could understand. When Lord Ramachandra was passing by, that area, suddenly she could understand that this is that Supreme Lord. So how they understand? No, it is like how does the magnet understand, or how does the iron piece understand? No, अभी magnet पास में आ गया, हम attraction होना चाहिए उसके प्रति, तो automatically attract होता है. So ऐसा ही like भक्त और भगवान के बीच में automatic attraction होता है. So just that one needs to execute the right devotional service. If one executes wrong devotional service, so like गलत लोगों को भगवान समझ के उसके प्रति attraction हो जाएगा. तो इसके लिए like सही भक्ति करना चाहिए, तो फिर सही attraction आएगा. So now this also goes to say that everybody who chants the names of the Lord, everybody who studies the scriptures, all of them, they don't get the same kind of realizations, or they don't get the same kind of revelations. So the holy name is not different from the Lord, and the scriptures are also not different from the Lord. Vedo Narayana Sakshat. So Veda is also like as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So now they don't reveal. Like for everybody, like Krishna also mentions, Naham Prakash Sarvasya. I don't reveal myself to everybody, and one needs to please the Supreme Personality of God. And as much as he is able to please the Lord, to that extent, the Lord actually reveals himself. So here also we see that even common people, they could see the Supreme Lord Sri Chaitanya, so but they could not understand and appreciate. So they could understand that much कि like ये बंदा बहुत lucky आदमी है, ये किधर भी जाता है like उधर पूरा prosperity आता है. So like, and they could examine in that way, but they could not appreciate him as the Supreme Personality of God. So this is something that like as we make progress in Krishna consciousness, so we get more and more deeper revelation of Krishna. So now we see that, but then the Vaishnavas who are there in Navadvip, so they were very much disappointed by seeing Nimai Pandit or Gauranga. So why they were disappointed? So because this person, he has very nice bodily features and he has very amazing scholarship, but then he has no attraction for Krishna. He is spending all his time in logic and grammar and all this Sanskrit and things like that. So, but he is not dwelling into the holy name of the Lord or deeply absorbed in the like pastimes of the Lord or glories of the Lord and things like that. So he is spending time only in the scriptures are also of many different categories. So in fact, in Bhagavad Gita also like Krishna mentions that Traigunya Vishayo Veda, Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna. So like the Vedas also deal with Traigunya. Traigunya means like Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, or material in nature. So material substances, like in another way we denote it as Traigunya. So like why it is mentioned as Traigunya? Vedas are meant to guide us to go back to Godhead and spiritual. It must be spiritual. In fact, the Vedas are called Brahma, Shabda Brahma. Shabda Brahma means like it is something very divine. And Krishna also mentions Vedo Narayana Sakshat. No, it's Bhagavatam mentions Vedo Narayana Sakshat. So Vedas are directly the Supreme Lord. So, but then why Vedas are also called as like Traigunya? So Traigunya means material, and divine means something beyond Traigunya. So, like, how can there be no like simultaneously like Vedas being Traigunya and Vedas being Narayana Sakshat? So, like that is something to be understood. So it is directly the words of the Lord, and these like Vedic literatures, they guide people in their material activities and spiritual activities. Both of them, it actually guides. The Vedas are the rule book to access or to deal with the material nature, the spiritual nature, everything like whatever we can possibly do, everything must be done under the guidance of Vedic scriptures. So now the portions that deal with the material, like instructions, they are definitely under Traigunya, and the duties of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and then Varna and Ashrama duties are mentioned. The Kshatriya Dharma is mentioned. The like what is that? Military science is mentioned. So there are many different things are mentioned in the Vedas. So they generally fall under the category of Traigunya. So, like the Vaishnavas, they don't dwell upon such subject matters. No, the Vaishnavas, they actually dwell upon the subject matters which glorify the Supreme Lord, like Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita and Ramayana. So, like these kind of this one literatures are very dear to like Vaishnavas. So, other literatures, they don't criticize other literatures that is meant for the common people. So rather, they encourage the common people to follow other portions of the literatures, but they themselves personally, they would dwell more deeper into the like scriptures that glorify the qualities and opulences of the Lord, and they would also preach about that, that kind of this ones. But if somebody is overly engaged in the other portions of the scriptures, and that too more pertaining to grammar and logic and things like that, Nyaya and this one and things like that. So then, so Vaishnavas would not very much appreciate that, So like, but then here, Nimai Pandit, Lord Chaitanya, like the Supreme Lord himself, so he is, displaying a pastimes like a scholar. And the Vaishnavas were like, no, ये तो time waste कर रहा है, time बर्बाद कर रहा है. No, his time पे like, no, he can chant names of the Lord and he could make some spiritual advancement. And so in this way, the Lord's internal potency bewildered even the devotees, in understanding him to be the Supreme Lord. And even once a Vaishnava, he met the Lord, and then he told, अरे ऐसा टाइम क्यों बर्बाद कर रहे हो, like नाम करो, like भागवत पढ़ो, कुछ तो करो. And no, Lord Chaitanya told, like, I truly value your this one instructions, your instructions in devotional service are very nice, and I appreciate it. And then he acknowledges and he just passes by. So he doesn't take on to the activities of a devotee, right? And so in this way, like he exchanged different mellows with different devotees. And Navadvip at that point in time, it was a great seat of learning. So like आजकल का कोटा होता है ना, so Kota Rajasthan, like where many people come for preparation of their IIT JEE and things like that and all. So something similar to that. So not so degraded education that time, like still as for scriptural educations. So like people would go to Navadvip, and many scholars were there, and people used to come and study various portions of Vedic literatures over there. And there were amongst them many pure Vaishnavas also, they used to come, especially from the region called Chattagram. So they would come, like many Vaishnavas also used to come to Navadvip for learning scriptures. Scriptures is common, both for materialists and for spiritualists, the scriptures are common, right? So materialists actually use the scriptures to get their material benefits, and spiritualists, they use the scriptures for like finding their path back to God. So both of them actually consult scriptures. So like here, but these Vaishnavas, they used to have their Sangha. They used to meet after their studies. They used to meet in the evening, and they used to discuss Krishna Katha. And amongst these Vaishnavas, there is an amazing personality called Mukunda. Like he was very expert in singing. So like something like our or much more than that. So like Mukunda used to be very expert in singing, and when he used to sing Krishna Kirtan, like everybody who heard, their hearts would melt. It was to be like very, very attractive. So not just because of his tune and things like that. So it is, of course, like that was very nice. And apart from that, Mukunda's feelings of devotion towards Krishna, that was so amazing that his kirtans would actually, pull everybody's heart. And they would chant, dance, and be immersed in the kirtans over there. And so the Vaishnavas would completely forget about all their previous sufferings or their other studies and things like that. They would fully get immersed in the Krishna Kirtan. And then, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Gauranga or Gaur Sundar, he is called as here. So Gaur Sundar, he was very pleased with Mukunda. He was very pleased with all the devotees. And specifically, this Mukunda used to be a very good scholar as well, because all of Navadvip is famous for studies. So then, so this Nimai Pandit or Gaur Sundar, he would go and pick up some kind of, he would present some kind of logic or grammatical problem to Mukunda. And then he would say like, okay, you solve this problem. And Mukunda would very sincerely, like he would give all the reasoning, and then he would give nice, nice justifications or like solution to the problem. So then Lord would say like all your arguments are like wrong, So like, and then he would try to prove it in another way. And finally it would end up in Vitandavad or like some kind of a argument, and it's like a scholarly fight. It would end in a scholarly fight. So then so Mukunda, he is a respected scholar, but then whenever the Lord would argue in this way, he would present proper pros and cons. Like, okay, I am telling something, so that what is the benefit of generally scholars or brahmanas, so they would not argue for establishing their point. So their argument will be on in the search of the truths, like what is actually proper. So they would be in that kind of this one. And if they are proven false, they would not mind much. Like it's okay, fine. It's a logical debate, and whoever presents like right kind of arguments, they win. And it's not about winning also, it's about like understanding. So it's about understanding. But then here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, like or Nimai Pandit, his only goal is to prove the other person wrong. Even though he tells the right argument, still prove him wrong. So, and sometimes he would catch hold of Srivas Thakur, and he would harass him also like this. And he would harass like all the Vaishnavas, and like TK, like you are telling Krishna Supreme Personality of Godhead and all these things, like just tell one shloka of Bhagavad Gita. And अगर बोलेंगे like ठीक है उसको मीनिंग बताओ, तो मीनिंग गलत है. तुम क्या है, like कुछ पढ़ा नहीं है, कुछ काम का नहीं है तुम. So like that, he would make fun of them, he would ridicule them, and then so much so that the Vaishnavas, whenever they would see the Lord, so they would get, even if they see the Lord, spot the Lord from a distance, they would change the route and they would go somewhere else. It's an irony. So the devotees are generally attracted to the Lord. So, but then here the scenario is, whenever they see the Lord, so they would, they would change their direction. And because they don't want to argue with the Lord, they don't want to argue with this person, because he is just simply speaking on grammar, logic, and things like that. And also, like, if at all, if it is some discussion on the glories of the Lord, so that would be something, that is nourishing the devotees. But it is simply some kind of a dry arguments. So they would not waste time. So they would not like to waste time. So they would just move away. So once Lord Chaitanya, he was, after finishing his class, with the students, he was coming by, and he saw Mukunda coming on the opposite direction, and he wanted to call him. So by the time, dusra rasta bhag gaya. And Lord Chaitanya is asking, he's one of his students by name Govinda. He's asking क्यों भाग गया मुझे देख के? नहीं दूसरा कुछ काम होगा. तो then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was telling, no, दूसरा कुछ काम नहीं है. तो वो सोचते हैं कि हम भगवान के बारे में नहीं बोलते हैं. तो ऐसा what is it, astrology, theology, verbal roots, grammar and logic, and इसके बारे में हम बोलते रहते हैं. तो वो सोचते हैं कि ये वेस्ट ऑफ टाइम है, नो, वो सोचते हैं लाइक हमसे बड़ा है, लाइक सो हम जो कर रहे हैं लाइक वो यूजलेस है। तो मैं ऐसा सोच के लाइक वो लोग भाग के जा रहे हैं। तो मैं आज बताता हूँ, सो लाइक यू सी all these people, Mukunda and all these devotees, how long they will avoid me, how long they will escape my by being caught by me. So one day, after finishing all my studies and things like that, I will become a great Vaishnava. So that time, I will become such a Vaishnava that Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva also will come and stand at my doorsteps. And all these people who are running like out of fear of me, they will all stand in front of me and glorify me. अगर कोई वैष्णव ऐसा बोलेंगे तो लाइक तो बाढ़ में गया लाइक उसका पहला चीज। सो फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट like somebody who is very very materially ignorant, he will be having pride, like amanitvam adambitvam ahimsa kshanti rajyam. These are all sign of knowledge. Even a jnani is supposed to be humble, and what to speak of devotee is supposed to be like extra humble. And here is somebody like who's telling ki like no मैं इतना बड़ा वैष्णव बनूंगा। And so like the disciples like they thought कि like okay हमारा टीचर तो बड़ा है like no वो तो बढ़ेंगे। And other Vaishnavas when they heard this अरे like ऐसा थोड़ी वैष्णव बनते हैं, वैष्णव मतलब दास का दास बनना चाहिए। ऐसा कि हम बॉस का बॉस बनेंगे। ये थोड़ी वैष्णव का लक्षण है। So like nobody took so seriously. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was telling the truth, but nobody took it very seriously. So because it was presented in such a way that nobody could understand. So then, so by the time all the devotees of Navadvip, they were seeing the situation in the world around. So all the people, so they were so much immersed in their materialistic pursuits, like mad after wealth, sons, and other temporary material opulences. So Dhanam Dehi, Putram Dehi, these are all like very important things for the material people. And when they see sadhus, like for them it is like, अरे तुम्हारे पास पैसा नहीं है, परिवार नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है, like लाइफ में क्या है तुम्हारा? In fact, sometimes they think that like तुम्हारा तो life waste हो गया। So but then so like the materialistic people were so much behind all these things, and they were in fact the situation in Navadvip at that point in time was they were accumulating lot of money, and whenever you accumulate something, so you have to display that somewhere, right? If it is not displayed, तो like लोगों को पता नहीं चलेगा, तो लोगों को पता नहीं चलेगा तो like लोग तो like वो प्रदर्शन करने के लिए, तो धन को प्रदर्शन करने के लिए क्या करना चाहिए? स्पेंड करना चाहिए, अच्छे से स्पेंड करना चाहिए। तो एक चीज करते थे लाइक वो लोग शादी वगैरह में लाइक बहुत ज्यादा धनाधन करते थे एक्चुअली। सो जनरली लाइक वैष्णवास दे कीप थिंग्स सिंपल। So like they even marriages, the Vaishnava marriages, you see like no, it is any activity of Vaishnavas, it is performed in a way of yajna. So it is performed in a way, it is devotional service. Like no activity of a Vaishnava is mundane. So they would perform like Vaishnavas would prefer to perform even like any of the ceremonies in a Vaishnava way, like it is a it's a devotional festival. So but then like the materialists, वो लोग ये सब चीज में like बहुत पैसा उड़ाते थे, and so they would not appreciate the devotional service. In fact, when they saw the devotees chanting the names of the Lord and performing devotional service and things like that, so they used to tell that ki like these people तो ये तो भिखारी लोग हैं, तो ये लोग चिल्ला रहे हैं हरे कृष्णा हरे राम like just to fill up their bellies, ऐसा like ये लोग सब भिखारी हैं। And then like other people, they were telling ये नवद्वीप में आया शास्त्र पढ़ने के लिए, तो ये माला करके नाम करके कीर्तन करके टाइम व्यर्थ कर रहे हैं, तो अच्छे से पढ़ना चाहिए ना, पढ़ने का उम्र में पढ़ना चाहिए, तो ये क्या माला कर रहे हैं? So like they used to chastise like that. And then still others used to like pass comments saying that ये लोगों को कितना भागवत भगवत गीता पता है, like पता नहीं, like ये लोग हमेशा तो like गाते हैं रोते हैं, नाचते रहते हैं, तो ये लोगों को like it's like useless people. And then another person, he came and like he's speaking that Shiva's Pandit and his three brothers, they will not even allow us to sleep properly after having a nice dinner. तो हम डिनर खा के लाइक सोने के लिए जाते हैं, ये लोग कीर्तन शुरू करते हैं. तो लाइक हमको ठीक से सोने में नहीं देते ये लोग. एंड देन वन पर्सन लिटरली वेंट टू द डिवोटीज एंड आस्क्ड, तो आपको अगर थोड़ा लाइक कम आवाज में लाइक नो सॉफ्टली अगर हरे कृष्ण मंत्र करेंगे तो आपको कुछ क्या लाइक स्पिरिचुअल बेनिफिट कम थोड़ी हो जाएगा. नाम तो वही है नो भगवान का, तो वो नाम करने में लाइक नो क्यों इतना चिल्ला रहे लाइक नो लाइक व्हाई आर यू हाउलिंग एंड स्क्रीमिंग एंड थिंग्स लाइक दैट. तो लाइक व्हाई डोंट यू चैंट सॉफ्टली. ये तो लॉजिक का बात है. लाइक नो भगवान का नाम तो नाम है. लाइक सॉफ्टली जप करेंगे और लाउडली जप करेंगे, लाइक लाउडली कीर्तन करेंगे, सेम ही बेनिफिट होता है ना. हाँ, सेम बेनिफिट होता है ना. नो अरे भगवान का नाम तो सेम है ना. हाँ सही है. So actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Haridas Thakur this question. So why are you chanting so loudly? No, what is the benefit of chanting loudly? So then Haridas Thakur says, see, if you just chant for yourself, only you will get benefited. But if you chant loudly, even the trees, plants and other bugs and animals and insects, everybody will get benefited. So but then like in the morning program, when we come for Mangalarti program once in a month we are doing, So like when we come for morning program, when we sit with devotees, so Srila Prabhupada gives an instruction that we should chant in such a way, loud enough to hear ourselves clearly, and then we should also be able to hear others chanting, in a low volume. We should be able to hear others chanting, and our chanting should be clear. So that means what? We are not becoming too much loud. No, if you are too much loud, we will not be able to hear others. And if you are only able to hear others, that means हमारा आवाज ठीक से नहीं आ रहा है. So like balance, बराबर balance होना चाहिए. So if this rule is followed by everybody, automatically the voice modulation will happen. So everybody can properly chant. So that's the chanting procedure. But then kirtan, when it is performed, so the kirtan that is performed with Ucha Swara, so that is very, very attractive and it calls the attention of the Lord. So just like children also, when they want to catch the attention of the mother, कौन सा स्वर में गाते हैं वो लोग? उच्च स्वर में बुलाते हैं कि like mother has to leave everything and go, so like that. So if we call out the Lord in like very, very soft voice, like भगवान सोचेंगे कि like ठीक है, like बाद में भी जा सकते हैं, कुछ प्रॉब्लम है. इतना ज्यादा हमारा जरूरत इतना ज्यादा नहीं है. तो like so but these materialistic people, so they were considering the chanting of the names of the Lord to be an obstruction of their activities, or it's a nuisance and things like that. So in this manner, the atheists used to hurl many offensive words towards the Vaishnavas. So hearing these things, like the devotees were very sorry, by hearing these offensive words of the like atheists and people like that, materialistic people. So it is not because they are blaspheming the Vaishnavas. So Vaishnavas were sorry because like they are not able to understand that what is the real benefit or real goal of life, and what is the glory of performing devotional service and things like that. So they could not understand all these things. So for their existence, for their miserable existence, so for that the Vaishnavas used to feel bad about the materialistic people, and they would go and report to Advaita Acharya. The Vaishnavas meeting place is Advaita Acharya's house, and they would go and report to Advaita Acharya. You see, people over here, they are all insulting us and passing such bad comments and things like that and all. And Advaita Acharya, he is in the Panchatattva. Who is Advaita Acharya? What is the identity of Advaita Acharya? Mahavishnu or Sadashiv. So it's a combined incarnation. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, and Nityananda Prabhu is Balram, and Advaita Acharya is Mahavishnu or Sadashiv. Is a combined incarnation. Gadadhar is incarnation of Radharani, and Shivas is Narada. So like that. So this is their identity. And when Advaita Acharya heard this, he became very angry and furious. He told, I shall destroy all these people. And he prayed to the Lord, my Lord, the carrier of Sudarshan disc, he will definitely appear very soon in this land of Nadia. And if I don't make the Lord appear here, so my name will not be Advaita. I will not be called as a servant of Sri Krishna. So like that, he was taking very solid pratigya. and so all the devotees there, so they became pacified by the words of Advaita Acharya, and they again focused themselves on chanting the names of the Lord, and they become immersed in the ecstasy of Krishna Kirtan. So when all these things are happening, so one day, uh, like a very nice sadhu or very nice sannyasi, he actually came to Navadvip, and he was in a disguise. So sannyasi in a disguise, sannyasi matlab saffron clothes hai. तो उसके बाद में क्या disguise है? So but disguise is he was carrying a ekadanda. No, so there is two kinds of sannyasis are there. So ekadanda sannyasi and tridanda sannyasi. So Ekadanda sannyasis means like their idea of life or their idea of perfection is that there is one supreme Brahman is there, and everybody will become merged in that Brahman. Brahman mein leen hone ka. So that is Ekadanda sannyasi. And Tridandi sannyasis, so they understand the Supreme Lord is Parabrahman and we are Jiva Brahman. So never the Jiva Brahman will become one with the Parabrahman. So Jiva will always remain a servant of the Supreme Lord. And the significance of Tridanda is Kaya, Vacha, Manasa. So that is body and words and mind. All of it is always used in the service of the Lord. So sannyasi means like all of us are expected to be engaged in the service of the Lord, but sannyasi means like he is expected, his body should be utilized only for the service of the Lord. His words should be utilized only for the service of the Lord. And his mind, even at the thought level is something that we cannot control. But a sannyasi is a very seasoned person. Even at the level of thought, there is no desire that crosses, like which is apart from devotional service. So such a person is, he actually takes Tridanda sannyas. So like generally Vaishnavas are Tridandi sannyasis. And Ekadandi sannyasi means like generally a impersonalist or a Mayavadi. So they would take Ekadanda sannyas. So here he is a Vaishnava. Ishwara Puri is a Vaishnava. And in fact, who is Ishwara Puri? Ishwara Puri is to become the spiritual master of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So such a great personality he is. And he comes in the guise of a Ekadandi sannyasi. And he was very, very magnanimous personality. He was always immersed in tasting the nectar of love for Krishna. And he was extremely dear, to Supreme Lord, and he was compassionate to all the living entities, right? And wearing such an attire, he was not to be recognized by anybody, and he was, as a sannyasi, they would wander from place to place. Sannyasis would not stay in one place, basically. So why? Because sannyasi means he should be dependent on the Supreme Lord. So when we travel, we generally try to book our accommodation and our food and things like that, and all planning actually happens. So and then we also say that ki like Bhagwan ka kripa se sab kuch achhe se ho gaya. So like after arrangement we tell all those things. And but sannyasi is not expected to arrange things like that. So sannyasi is expected to travel without any pre-planning, and whatever comes, like definitely हम तो arrange नहीं किया, तो अगर कुछ आ रहा है मतलब भगवान ही भेजे होंगे. So that helps in cultivating the dependence on the Supreme Lord. So they should not have any possessions, bank balance, and things like that. So they should be completely dependent on the Supreme Lord. So he would, one of the duties of the sannyasi is to travel without any pre-planning. So they should not stay in any place. They should not permanently stay in any place for a long time. तो एक जगह पे रुकेंगे, like then सब लोग सेवा करेंगे and things like that, and then तो permanent solution मिल गया हमारा economic solution. तो ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. सन्यासी का economic solution should always be in disturbance only. So like stable economic solution is needed for grahasthas. For sannyasis, stable economic solution is not good. So for them, like it's always a adventure. So then one day he happened to come to Advaita Acharya's house, and Advaita Acharya was like performing his puja, and he was sitting next and he was observing, like how this Advaita Acharya is like wonderfully worshipping the Lord. And Advaita Acharya also looked upon, here is a Ekadandi sannyasi, but then Vaishnavas naturally have that too very Vaishnavas who have done a lot of advancement in Krishna consciousness. They naturally possess some kind of a effulgence or some kind of a no aura, no, like around them. So like Advaita Acharya was seeing, no, this guy seems to be an Ekadandi sannyasi, but then like his bodily features and his, his kind of appearance doesn't look to be like Ekadandi sannyasi. No, he appears to be a Vaishnava. And then Advaita Acharya asks Ishwarapuri that, dear saintly person, who are you? No, like I am feeling that you are actually a Vaishnava, but then you are carrying a Ekadanda. So like, what is your identity? So then Ishwarapuri responds that actually I am lower than a Shudra, and I have come here like just to take darshan of your lotus feet. So when they received, like immediately Advaita Acharya could understand. So such a humility, such a like he appears to be a very very greatly accomplished person, but considers himself to be very lower. So such kind of an attitude is of a Vaishnava's attitude, and immediately Mukunda, he also recognized the symptoms of a pure devotee, and he started singing wonderful kirtans, glorification of Sri Krishna. And when such kirtan started, so immediately Ishwarapuri was fully absorbed in Krishna Prem. He fainted to the ground, and he started having incessant tears. And the kirtan actually went into very deeper this one, like very very intense kirtan happened. And Advaita Acharya, now for 100% he understood like this is a devotee, and he embraced Ishwarapuri, and all the devotees had very wonderful kirtan. And after some time, they asked, like, okay, we understand you are not a Ekadandi sannyasi, you are a Vaishnava. So, but then, like, no, aapka pehchan dijiye, like, no, kaun hai aap? So then, like, he told, I am Ishwarapuri. Ishwarapuri is a very famous name. So why he is a famous name? Because his spiritual master, Madhavendra Puri, he was very, very famous. So, because Madhavendra Puri, just to receive his service, like Gopalji appeared in Vrindavan, and then we all know like Kir Chor Gopinath pastime. So even now, like outside of ISKCON, also like many many people know about Madhavendra Puri's glories. So we'll not get into that. So Ishwara Puri was a very nice servant of Madhavendra Puri, and he served like Madhavendra Puri towards in his last days very 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 nicely he served, and he was blessed by Madhavendra Puri like to have get Krishna Prem, and he was like thoroughly blessed, and he was a very famous personality amongst Vaishnavas. But those days social media was not there, तो like उनको चेहरा कोई देखा नहीं है, तो like तो अभी उनका नाम सुन के like सब लोग अरे like Ishwarapuri, like you happen to come here, it's our great fortune that we could get your association. And all of them were so happy that every day they started meeting. So in their evening satsang program, Ishwarapuri को भी like मिला दिए, like ना अभी तक like उनको invitation नहीं भेजे थे. So because Ekadandi sannyasi को like Vaishnav program में बुलाएंगे, it is not it will not sync. So now from now on, all of them were like meeting together. So one day when Ishwarapuri was like walking in the streets of Navadvip, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Gaur Chandra, so like he was, he finished his teaching to his disciples, and he was also walking with his disciples, and he was naturally attracted. A devotee of the Lord like Ishwarapuri is a very amazing devotee of the Lord, and here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Lord himself, so like natural attraction will be there. So iron and the magnet, so he was naturally attracted, but he could not understand कि like ये तो इतना चकाचक कपड़ा पहना है, like लग रहा है कि like पूरा संस्कार में डूबा है. So like why should I be attracted? So but then still I am attracted. So a person who is so like materialistically, his outward appearance is materialistic. So like a Vaishnava would not get attracted, and that too a sannyasi would not get attracted. In fact, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to tell, this he used to often remember this shloka that Niskinchanasya Bhagavad Bhajanonmukasya Param Param Jigamishor Bhavasagarasya Sandarshanam Vishayinam Atayoshitam Cha Ha Hanta Hanta Vishabhakshanatopya Sadhu. So for a Nishkinchana, for a renunciant, and Bhagavad Bhajanonmukasya, like one whose only goal of life is Bhagavad Bhajana, for him coming in contact with Vishayi. Vishayi means a materialistic person who is like so much engrossed in materialistic pursuits. So it is as good as drinking poison. No, why it is as good as drinking poison? Because devotional service means to use everything in the service of the Lord, and a materialist means to use everything in one's own service. So, like, sometimes it is mentioned matter is dangerous. More dangerous is materialistic person. So, why? Why it is more dangerous? Because materialistic person has like so much of attachment to matter, so he can transfer that attachment to us. So it is seen that like association of Lord is nice, but then more greater than association of the Lord is association of devotees. Why? Because the devotees have the attraction towards Krishna, so they can pass on that attraction towards Krishna to us. So many people go to temples, they take darshan of the Lord and things like that, but not many turn into devotees. But when they come in contact with devotees, they become devotees. No, why? Because the devotee has the attraction towards the Lord, so they can pass on. In the same way, a materialist has attraction towards matter, they can pass on. So like that is a danger actually. So that is why a renunciant, he generally would not associate with materialistic people. So like, but then here, Ishwara Puri, though he is a sannyasi, and like here Gauranga or like Nimai Pandit, he is immersed in materialistic pursuits. Like his dress is like materialistic, and his like way of dealings and everything is like that. But still, he is attracted. So why he is attracted, he is also not able to understand. He क्यों है attraction हो रहा है? So like, and he is going, and like then. Um, like Lord Chaitanya, Nimai Pandit, he also becomes attracted to his devotee, like Ishwara Puri. And then, because he is in a sannyasi attire, he offers his obeisances to him. And then, like, he is asking, who are you? Like, what is your name? No, you appear to be a learned Brahmana. And you are also carrying books. What kind of books you carry and what kind of subjects you teach to your people? So then some of the students of Nimai Pandit told, no, this is Nimai Pandit. So, okay. Then Ishwara Puri, oh, you are that famous Nimai Pandit. Like, no, I've heard about you. So then, like, Gauranga, he humbly invites, you're a sadhu, you have come to our village. No, please come home to accept some prasadam. So then, he also agrees to come home. And like Sachi Mata, the mother of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so she prepares a wonderful feast and offers to Krishna. And like Ishwara Puri was given the Mahaprasad. And like after that, Ishwara Puri, he in their home itself, he performs a Krishna Katha. And in the Krishna Katha, he narrates wonderful pastimes of the Lord. And at one point in time, he became very, very emotional, and he became very affected by the like transcendental love towards Krishna, and he could not speak any further. So generally, like he would not display all this kind of his ecstasies in front of ordinary people. So, but then, like beyond his control, like he was actually glorifying the Lord, and he went into ecstasy. And Ishwara Puri, during his stay in Navadvip, he stayed in the house of Gopinath Acharya, a very nice devotee. And like there, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, from that day on, every day after his teaching, he would go and meet him. Like towards the evening, he would go and meet him. And there used to be like Gadadhar Pandit also. So Gadadhar Pandit was like Srimati Radharani herself in his, in Krishna Leela. And this Gadadhar Pandit, so he used to also come and meet Ishwara Puri. So Ishwara Puri like saw, like amazing that Gadadhar is such an amazing devotee. And then he had personally written a book called Krishna Leelamrit. And he was personally instructing, on this book to Gadadhar, about the like various esoteric truths about, service to Sri Krishna. And so every evening, Lord Chaitanya also used to come and visit Ishwara Puri. And Ishwara Puri also very glad to see Nimai. And they would exchange affectionate this ones. And then he spoke, one day he spoke to Nimai that, see, like I have written a book, this Krishna Leelamrit. So definitely like, there are possibilities of improvements, like maybe there may be some grammatical mistakes and things like that and all. So why don't you check this book and suggest me some corrections and things like that? So that time, Nimai Pandit would respond that you see, like your book is description about Krishna by a pure devotee. You are a pure devotee, and you have described the glories of Krishna. Whoever finds fault in your book, no, he is to be considered as sinful offender. No, Krishna is always pleased with the poetry of a pure devotee. No, even though it is grammatically wrong, no, sometimes. So an ignorant person, no, when he comes to offer obeisances to the Lord, so he may tell Krishnaya Namaha and then Vishnaya Namaha. So like, no, ideally, like, no, in the Sanskrit there is no Krishnaya, Krishna. No, unto Krishna means Krishnaya. No, we can use, but unto Vishnu means Vishnave. No, we should use Vishnave. That is the right usage. So, but like ignorant person who's not very educated in Sanskrit, no, he may not tell Vishnaya Namaha. So, but still the Lord would accept, no, because Lord is Bhava Grahi, no. So Lord is Janardana, no. So like he would accept, no, accepting the feeling of surrender of the devotee, he would accept that. So it doesn't. Pure devotee's composition doesn't require this kind of material corrections or like grammatical corrections and things like that. So and then after that he mentions whoever looks for faults in your writing, they themselves are faulty. So Krishna actually relishes your composition, and Krishna is fully satisfied with your writing. So like no, I don't want to like do this kind of a task for you. So but then Ishwara Puri, when he heard all the statements of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he felt great happiness, like it's like such an amazing this one realization this boy has. And then he still insists, Nimai Pandit, saying that you see, like, no, I understand you don't want to be critical. So but then it is a service, like I'm just giving you this service, like I want you to make this book enhanced. So please do this service of the proofreading and editing and things like that. So in fact, Srila Prabhupada also, when he wrote his books, like some of his disciples were great scholars, like well educated in English. So he engaged them in editorial work. And in fact, in the initial days, like when the disciples used to edit, so that time, like Prabhupada used to write this, like our Indian tradition, or like our traditional way of writing the Lord's name is Shri Shri Radha Krishna, so like that. So this editors, they cut one Sri. And then Prabhupada saw that and he told, like, no, you see, no, Sanskrit is my language, English is your language. You edit your language, no, don't touch my language. So like, so like in that way, like he used to educate and train the, like his disciples, and so here also, like Ishwara Puri, he like instructed or requested Nimai Pandit to do this editorial work. And so from that day on, Nimai Pandit would come. So as usual, every day he used to come and meet. And from that day on, he used to spend, both of them used to spend a couple of hours, like studying that book in terms of, finding the mistakes and enhancing and things like that. The book is, Krishna Lilamrit is like a book which is very deep about Krishna's pastimes. So, but then they were doing like the grammatical, and the proof checking and things like that. And when they were doing this, so one day, Nimai Pandit, he found one possible fault in the book. He mentioned one dhatu. One dhatu is mentioned in Atmanepada. So like that should have been in Parasmaipada. So like generally this Atmanepada and Parasmaipada is like two different, the verb, the dhatus or the verbs are like actions. So if the action is pachati, pachati means like e pachanti atma karana. Pachati means what? Huh? Pashyati nahi, pachati. Huh? Pachaka is like digestion. Pacha is like cooking. Pachati. And that's why I told him Pachati. Pachati and Pachanti, like, this, it comes like, Pachanti is plural, Pachati is singular. So like this one, what is that? Pachati is in the form of Parasmaipada. That means cooking for somebody else. Pachate means cooking for one's own self. Atmanepada means I'm doing the task for myself. And Parasmay Pada means like I'm doing the task for somebody else's benefit, right? So here he found that this one, that no, you have used Atmane Pada, so but actually it should be Parasmay Pada. So like one particular dhatu, no, he actually identified. So then, after discussion, Nimai Pandit went home, and Ishwara Puri considered that he's also a very, very great scholar. And he considered Nimai Pandit's proposal, and he was like enjoying that intellectual analysis and things like that. So then he consulted various scriptures, and then like consulted the traditional usage of the grammar and things like that. And next day, when Nimai Pandit came home, he told, "See, like what suggestion you gave is actually wrong. No, what word I used is right." So then Nimai Pandit accepted that, yeah, so like no, aap jo bol rahe ho sahi hai. So like first time he accepted a defeat in front of somebody, and Lord also felt good. So like Lord also felt nice that his devotee, Ishwara Puri, like he defeated him in logic and grammar. So all the Vedic scriptures, they actually, glorify the Lord. That Lord is not a person that, he wants to establish himself as a great person. The Lord is always wants to establish his devotees as great person, right? So in that way, like, he's glorifying his devotee Ishwarapuri, by apparently committing some mistake. The Lord is like Anamaya, means there is no fault in the Lord's personality, but still he commits a mistake just to prove his devotees are great, so just to put his just to glorify his devotees. And for the next few months, like these two great pandits, Nimai Pandit and Ishwarapuri, so they would every day meet and enjoy, this logical and grammatical, discussions and things like that. So, like, however, Ishwarapuri, like being a sannyasi, he could not stay in Navadvip for long. So he moved on, and he moved on to different tracts of land just to purify the earth and just to purify the people whom he comes in contact with. And now is a very important thing. So the Falashruti is mentioned, this pastime, those who hear this pastime. So what is the benefit of hearing this pastime? Whoever is fortunate enough to attentively hear these wonderful narrations about Ishwarapuri is immediately transported to a place where the lotus feet of Lord Krishna are ever offering shelter and mercy. So that's the benefit of hearing this pastime. And last paragraph it is mentioning about Madhavendra Puri's glories also. Sri Madhavendra Puri, he was a very, very accomplished sadhu, and he bestowed the complete perfection of devotion to Krishna and to Ishwara Puri, being pleased with his service. So, in this way, like, Ishwara Puri was a very, very fortunate soul. And the pinnacle of all his fortune is he is to become the spiritual master of Nimai Pandit or Gauranga, the Supreme Lord himself. So in this way, like Sri Krishna Chaitanya, like Vrindavan Das Thakur is mentioning, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Chandra are my life and soul. I Vrindavan Das humbly offer my songs at their lotus feet. So in this way, this chapter is completed. Hare Krishna. So any questions, comments, for like maybe few minutes we can take, and then we can proceed on. So 11:30. I think they're also ready. You can check. Can use the mic.
Ishwarapuri and Madhavendra. So Shiva, like Ekdandi, Madhavendra was also.
Tridandi Sannyas. Yeah, Tridandi.
Name was Puri, so it's not even.
Yeah, so that is traditional sannyas names at that point in time. It was there. It is quite famous in the Ekadandi parampara. So, but then he's a Tridandi sannyas. So, like when Madhavendra Puri goes to like Vrindavan, so that time, Krishna personally comes and brings milk to him. So that time also it is noted that there is a Tridandi sannyas. So, but here for some reason he comes in the guise of a Ekadandi sannyas. Yes. Any other questions or comments? Are they ready, Paul? Hmm? Oh, okay. Small script is also there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for just nicely describing from Chaitanya Bhagavatam. We have got first time the opportunity to hear from Chaitanya Bhagavatam today. So thank you so much, Prabhu. And we request all the devotees to please chant one time the Hare Krishna mantra to thank Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram.